Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids. And actually, a couple of days before I did predict that it would be revealed, we have the next fusion here to show you in today's video, or at least his skill set. And guys, this is a Void legendary champion that is going to be the fusion, Emic Trunkheart. And spoiler warning, he looks to be extremely good. The fusion, by the way, will be starting, as I actually bang on what I predicted, Thursday the 3rd of August. We nail that one on the head. And it is going to be a fusion event. A fusion means it's probably a traditional fusion, so collecting whatever, 16 of whatever rares, fusing 4 epics, fusing the legendary. It is the hardest. It's the hardest one. So brace yourselves for it. It's going to be tough. Check out my fusion preparation video I did yesterday if you haven't seen it already. Yeah, long story short, I'd be very cautious about indulging in 2x voids this weekend. I would probably be saving those shards to make sure to make this fusion as easy as possible in case the shard costs are super high, because he's a void legendary and he looks, like I said, extremely good. Let's take a look at his kit here. He is, oh, I didn't mention he's a Sylvan Watcher, if you hadn't noticed, which is obviously nice. New faction. That's useful for pretty much everyone, actually. Earthroot Tendril, his A1, attacks one enemy, increases the value of all shield buffs on this champion by 25%, and also increases the value of any shield buffs on the ally with the lowest HP by 25%. So we'll have to see exactly how this works. This seems okay. This seems like a decent A1. Nothing too crazy, but it's unique, so that's kind of cool. Vinequake is A2, 4-turn goes to a 3-turn cooldown, attacks all enemies. Place a shield buff on all allies equal to 30% of this champion's max HP for 2 turns, and decreases the cooldown of all ally skills except this champion's by 1 turn. That is such a good move. That is so good. So it's an AoE attack. That's always nice. You could run him maybe in some crowd control sets if you wanted. Not essential, but if you wanted, you could. 30% of his max HP shield on everyone is really strong too. He is a Void legendary HP based champion. I would expect him to have very solid base HP. This should be a chunky shield. Very chunky. And also an extremely unusual ability, decreasing ally skills. Now, it's only by 1 turn, but still, that does add up. Like in the arena, getting your nuker, getting their AoE nuke back 1 turn sooner, that can make a big difference. Clearing through wave-based content, that can make a big difference. I especially think, as a fusion, he's going to be very accessible, really, when you look at accounts that don't have Kymar. Prince Kymar, that don't have Yumiko to do these full resets. Having this mini reset could actually be extremely helpful on wave-based content, because he's bringing a lot of other good stuff as well. So he could really help your dungeon runs, for example, stay super tanky. Your Doom Tower clears, stay super tanky, while also speeding it up, which is awesome. Not to mention, like I said, the arena benefits. Trunkheart Sanctuary is A3, possibly the best part. There's so many good parts here. 6-turn goes to a 4-turn cooldown, places an unkillable buff on all allies for 2 turns. 2-turn unkillable, 4-turn cooldown. This is equal to Maneater, Sir Nicholas. This opens up a whole bunch of Demon Lord Clan Boss stuff. If you missed the Helicath fusion, if you started after that and you were super, super jealous, be jealous no longer. You have your alternative. Unkillable for everyone is very, very good. I guess it'd be more the Sir Nicholas compositions, because Maneater does give you block buffs. Block debuffs, though the taunt, maybe you could still tank the stun with taunts. It's exciting, because it also puts a taunt buff and a shield buff on this champion for 2 turns. Value of the shields equal to 30% of this champion's max HP. Again, fantastic. So he's going to have a big old shield on himself. He can obviously make it stronger with his A1 as well. He's going to be very tanky, right? 30% shield on his A2, 30% shield on his A3. He's going to constantly be shielding himself and making it bigger. And with the taunt, yeah, he's going to be taking all those single target hits. The way the taunt buff works, it forces any single target attacks to choose him as the target. So your enemies can still use their AoEs and it will still do AoE. But if they do any single target stuff, it must target him. Very interesting stuff. Again, could it take the stun on Demon Lord Clan Boss? Perhaps it could. Entanglement, the passive. When attacked while under a shield buff, has a 50 books to 75% chance of increasing the cooldown of a random skill on the attacker by 2 turns, occurs once per attack, and whenever an ally's HP drops below 20%, increase the damage dealt by that ally by 20%. That's awesome. So the second part of the passive is just a nice perk. That's really good for Demon Lord, right? Just get 20% more damage out of your team when you're building an unkillable team. Everyone is stuck on like 1 hit point. They're nearly always going to have this 20% bonus. That will make Demon Lord much, much easier for you to do. That's great, fantastic. And it's a nice little bonus, I'd say, for the arena as well, where you're going to be nuking. Probably outside of that, you won't be hoping to rely on his unkillable too much. But man, look at this. In terms of wave control and in terms of arena, 75% to increase an attacker's skill by 2 turns when he's attacked under shield. That is so good because he forces them with his taunt to target him. That's so good, right? So Sifi has an A1. She has to use that single target. Duchess Lilitu often has to be using her A1, and you can be increasing their cooldowns potentially. That is so strong. Not to mention single target nukers like Arotos comes in, tries to smack you. If you survive it, you could push his cooldowns back, and stuff like that. There's a lot of potential right there. He has a 30% allied HP and all battles aura. That's super good as well. Honestly, he seems like he's going to be really good everywhere. He's going to be a pretty good mischief tank for Hydra because he's going to have taunt up half the time. Not amazing, but decent. And he's going to give you a lot of survivability. And yeah, he's also going to shield on himself. I guess it messes with blood shield. For Hydra, I think he's more just like okay for Hydra. Not insane, but not bad either. He's going to be a good filler to throw in, I would say, but probably not top tier unless this, again, cooling down your ally skills though is pretty exceptional. That's pretty damn good. That's pretty damn good. Oh man. But yeah, he seems like a fantastic, fantastic arena champion. Like you put him in a bolster set where he has an unstrippable shield at the start of the fight, for example, and he's going to be putting enemy skills on cooldown, messing them up big time. This guy seems great. This guy seems like a must-have, a must-use. Certainly, I think for an annoying champion like Leorius the Proud, who comes in 2 AoEs, gives himself unkillable, he's hard to deal with. Being able to come in and slap unkillable on your team and potentially increase one of Leorius' skill. You can turn off Leorius' second skill. You can have your team survive with unkillable. Very useful. And then you can kill the Leorius when his unkillable falls off. Like that sort of stuff is great. So yeah, Emic Trunkheart. What do you think? In my opinion, this guy looks insanely good. Insanely good. Super strong. I think that I would rate Newt overall is probably higher because Newt opens up like speed farming dungeon stuff in a really big way. And I think that's super valuable. And Newt is just better than anyone else. And he opens up Fire Knight hard more than anyone else, except maybe like Cardiel or Valkyrie would. Like that's a huge deal. This guy, opening up obviously Demon Lord Clan Boss for earlier game players is absolutely massive. But yeah, let me know what you think. Newt versus Emic. I'm kind of team Newt, but man, Emic is not far behind. Emic is insane. 2 crazy fusions back to back. And like I said, remember, this does look to be a fusion. Starts on Thursday, the 3rd of August. That should be in a week and a day from now. And there you go. Let me know. I'm hyped for this. This is cool. I'll see you all next time. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.